What's going on, guys? Vista here, and today we have episode 3 of Hey Noob. This video series is dedicated to helping out brand new players to the Battlefield franchise, and it has a focus on Battlefield 4. If you are new to the series, you're going to want to go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on any videos. I'll do my best to show you guys the ins and outs of the Battlefield. If you are a seasoned Battlefield 4 player, this may not be the video series for you, but you know, it's never a bad idea to refresh on some of the basics. So anyways, guys, so far on episodes 1 and 2, we've covered the menus and game modes. Today we're going to talk about just the basic mechanics of the in-game. Of course, if you watch all the way to the end of the video, I'll throw in a nice little trick, and I believe today's trick will have to do with Operation Locker here. Some cool things you can do, little evolution things on the map. So anyways, guys, let's get into it. Let's talk about the basic in-game mechanics. You know, we've covered the menus, everything, so this is kind of once we've spawned in. Let's just kind of go over the screen real quick. I am on an empty server, so you see right there in the middle, waiting for players, one player on the server. That's just me. Just wanted an empty server to kind of show you guys what's going on without being shot at. If we move to the bottom left, we have our mini-map. We can, you know, make it larger, zoom in on it, and you know, move through various levels of a zoom on the minimap. Above the minimap is the round score. Shows us what flags are captured by what. You see in the purple there, A, B, and C. Those are held by my team. I'm on the U.S. side. We have 800 tickets. On the with the ones that are just kind of that light blue, D and E, those are uncaptured points. If they were captured by the enemy team, they would turn orange. We also have the round timer right there in the middle, and of course, like I said, the ticket count between the US and Russian sides. You also notice on the minimap we have north, south, east, and west. It gives a direction. Awesome for when you're working with your teammates. If I have a guy over here, I'd say contact to the south, contact to the east, contact to the west. Just gives us a nice little heading. In the bottom center of the screen, we have our inventory. You see on the top T, if I had a gadget like a laser sight attached or variable zoom for the recon guy, something like that, I would toggle that with the T key. It shows me that I have defibs and a med kit equipped, and at the bottom you see next to the V, I can switch fire modes by hitting B, and you look on the kind of on the right, you'll see auto and single fire mode. And of course, getting over to the bottom right of the screen shows my ammo count. I have 31 in my magazine, being the first number. The second number is 124, is how much ammo I have in reserve. Of course, 3 grenades, and I have 100% health on the bottom right of that little gray box. So that's just kind of the basic layout of the in-game menu. I want to get rid of this waiting for players in the middle here, so I'm going to open up the command console. I'm going to type in UI.draw enable 0 to take away, and we may see magically it clears out the screen. This does remove everything, including the Doritos above the enemy players and friendly players, but it's better for demonstration purposes so I can show you guys what's going on. So let's get to the basic mechanics of firing a rifle. Right now I am using the Ace 23, very popular gun in the franchise right now. Does quite a good job. This is the assault rifle. I'm using the assault kit, so let me find a decent little place to show you and what we can do in Battlefield. If you're playing on PC, this is a little bit easier. Consoles, you know, my experience has been very difficult. But what we'll talk about is recoil management. You know, if we just fire the rifle, aim down sight, fire away, not going to hit too many players. And you see why the Ace 23 is pretty popular. Recoil is almost straight up, just slightly to the right. So, what we do to manage recoil is we would basically, with our mouse, pull this in the opposite direction. You can attempt it on console with your control sticks, you know, pulling backwards. I don't know if too many people are too successful with it, but you know, get on a test range, try it out. So let me show you what that looks like. And of course that is just mag dumping there, but you can see quite a bit tighter group. Now let me show you the second mechanic to recoil. If we kind of look, this was aiming down sights. If I just hip fire, you can see it's kind of all over the place. Now we see there's a little animation when I go to ADS. If you don't let that finish come all the way to here and you start firing halfway through, you're going to retain that hip fire accuracy instead of getting that nice tight ADS accuracy. So we let it finish all the way before we start firing. If we just come out and fire halfway through, look at the spread difference. So let the ADS finish all the way through before you start firing. Now, we do have our, we've seen, you know, that's the primary weapon. Now, in Battlefield, we have the ability to switch to a secondary weapon. In here, you see I have the shorty shotgun attached. And, you know, for me personally, I have this mapped to my scroll wheel on my mouse. So if I roll it forward, it brings out my primary. If I roll it backwards, it brings out my secondary. What's this good for? If I fire, run out of ammo, still have a guy there, I can quick switch to my secondary weapon, which allows me to still get off enough shots. So you see it still finishes out my reload, but I was able to continue killing. So keep that in the back of your mind, get on the test range, practice switching between your primary and secondary. It will save your life. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and talk about gadgets. We see with the, and you know, as far as the individual gadgets, I'm not going to get too deep into them right now. I'm going to go with individual videos for each kit, which will really break down, you know, what's going on with each kit. But, you know, we have different gadgets, usually have 2 between each, for each class, you know. And you can select these. You know, you see with the assaulters, I have the Defibs. And if you missed out on the last video, I showed you guys a cool little trick for the Defibs. I also have the med kit. This allows other players to heal off of it and everything like that. Now, I have these mapped to one of my thumb buttons, does my Defibs, and my scroll wheel click deploys my other gadget. Now, also on my other thumb wheel is the reload button. Now, as far as reloading, there is one little trick that you need to see here, and let me bring the user interface back up. Okay, so actually let me redeploy here. The assaulters again. Now you see on the bottom right that we have 31 in the magazine. That means 30 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. So if I fire, reload, you see that it puts 31 back in. Now if we mag dump this all the way empty, nothing left in the magazine, now you'll see that I have 30 and he had to cock the gun. That's because we didn't have a round chamber. Now there's a different reload time. It's actually longer if you have an empty magazine. So when you reload, you want to make sure that you always have at least 1 round left in the chamber. That way it gives you 31. I know I would always want to have an extra bullet when going up against a bunch of enemies. So that's how you do it. Make sure you always leave at least 1 in the magazine. Now, if let's move on to a little bit of squad communication. If let's say you don't have, you're not using the VoIP feature, or you're trying to talk to a you know, teammate that's not in your squad. On PC, we can actually hold down Q, and it gives us this little menu right here. I'm squad leader, so it gives me the ability to say attack, defend. You know, if you need a med kit, you can click over here, and you see up there in the chat says, "Hey, I need a med kit." If I hit it again, I can affirmative, thank you, sorry, negative, need a ride. If I want to get picked up in the vehicle, or if I need ammunition from a support player, I can kind of use this to communicate. They will hear it in game if they're close enough, you know, hey, I need ammo, something like that. Now, another thing with the Q button or spot, kind of look for this in your controls. You should be able to see it even on console. Constantly hit this. You know, it spots the enemy, makes him visible, makes him pop up on the mini map. You see a guy running around, getting ready to run from from that doorway around the corner. Spot him. You'll see where he goes around this corner, so you can pop out and take your shots at him. You want to spot as much as possible. If you hold it down, kind of do like a longer one, and there's a bunch of enemies, he'll kind of do that little hand point and spot all of them at once. So, like I said, be courteous. That's a big thing in Battlefield. You'll see guys complaining about it all the time. Hey, spot, I need somebody to spot. So, make sure you're doing it. Let's see. I guess that's, kind of about it for the basics. Remember, manage your recoil. Make sure you get all the way through the ADS. Reload with rounds still in your magazine. We went over the gadgets, deploying your med kits, and using your defibs, depending on what kit you have, what gadgets you have equipped. And of course I covered it in the menus video, how to equip those different gadgets. And make sure you're spotting and using your squad communication. Well, that's about it for today's, guys. Stay tuned for the trick at the end of the video. I do appreciate you watching, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Alright guys, and we have made it to episode 3's trick portion of the video. Appreciate you watching it this far. Hope it's helped you out. But let's talk about a little bit of levolution on Operation Locker. Let's say we got a bunch of enemies inside this room. What we can do, take cover, boom, we light the entire room on fire. This works in a couple different locations throughout the map. The way you activate it is to look for these valves leaking gas. Kind of see them there. Aim up, fire, and you will light the whole room on fire. And a quick little bonus trick for you guys. Has this ever happened to you on Operation Locker? You come to a locked gate, you aren't able to open it. Well, no, you don't have to go all the way around. What you have to locate is this little box here, given away by the flashing light. Give it a quick shot, and the gate opens up for you. So, you'll never be locked out again. Just look for the flashing light, put a few rounds in it, and you've got that awesome back rage going on the enemy team. Hope it helps, guys, and thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.